Guess who's here?
On all of these fruits.
The drawer out, and now he's lining them up. You watching Miss Rachel? You like Miss Rachel?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No.
No? No what? He likes the golden one. Gold, shiny, golden glue. Don't put that in your mouth. That's gross. You old silly. Can you tell Spencer was here today? I keep my acrylic paints in these little drawers I made. He took them all out and lined them all up. It's now 8:45 at night, and I helped Brian. He mowed the grass, but it's an electric mower with a cord. I used to have one that was cordless back in St. Louis, but I gave it to our friends. They used to have lawn service, but now they do it themselves. They have a corded lawnmower. It was cheaper. So I was holding the cord while Brian was mowing it as fast as he could because it became, an evening. And then I came in, and I'm going to have pot roast. I guess that's mashed potatoes. Boston Market's TV dinner, microwave dinner. It doesn't look like there's much there. So I guess I'll be eating something else as well. The food was palatable, but not gonna buy it again. The mashed potatoes tasted like potato chips that watered down and smashed up. And the beef part tasted good, but all the rest of it did not. So, well, you live and learn. And I know I won't get that again. It was like $4 for that. Anyway, my friend just called just now. But I'll tell you what we did today. Spence and I took a really long walk. It took over an hour. Walked, there's a sidewalk that goes along the main road up to that neighborhood where the acting teacher Susie lives. So we walked way up in there, and I heard that she lived at the very end of the one street. So I thought, well, let's go by and see if she's home. So we're walking and walking and walking, and then it starts going down a steep hill, and I'm thinking, how long is this till the end of the street? She said she lived at the end of the street. And I thought, I could hear thunder overhead. It was cloudy, and it was supposed to rain, and I thought, oh boy, that doesn't sound good. We better turn around and go home. It's going to take a while. And I'm going downhill. I'm thinking, for every step downhill, I gotta push this stroller and trudge uphill. So we did not go to the end of the street. We turned around and we returned home. On the way home, we saw this little bunny rabbit, kind of like a toddler bunny. I mean, he wasn't a baby, but he wasn't grown up either. And I think something had got a hold of his butt, his hind end, or ran over him or something. Poor thing. He was sitting there. I thought he was just sitting there enjoying the day, and we got closer, and he kind of freaked out a little bit, but he couldn't move his back end. So I moved the stroller over farther away from him, and I bent down very slowly, and I was talking to him, and I wanted to move him off into the bushes, because if he's going to die, I want him to be at least a little more comfortable. We talked to him, and I petted his head, and we left him alone. I was telling Spencer that he probably got hit, and that's why we have to be so very careful. And what you tell little kids. That we said goodbye to the bunny, and we came home. We had lunch. He didn't want to eat, but we had lunch. We had a good lunch. I put on the accordion Oktoberfest music that he loves to hear. And he had all his lunch. And then I also brought over like about 8 or 10 red grapes for him in its own little container. Then I had my own grape container, and then I had potato soup. He was into seventh heaven. He's like, I have my own container of grapes, whoa. And he ate like a little fiend. He was so hungry. But then I know he was tired. I know he was really, really tired. We played with some pine cones that we found on our journey. We found about 8 pine cones. Some of them were short and round like, and some of them were kind of longer and a reddish brown, and the other ones are dark brown. So they're really cool looking. And we looked at them, and he noticed the pattern of the seeds, and we talked about how they can grow into trees, and he was fascinated. And I'm like, that's good. That's good. And so we played with those for a while. I was even singing and making them dance around like they were little people or something, and we had a good time. And I could tell he was really tired. And I started to play some music, and he goes, no, no, no. Like he didn't want to take a nap at all. Then I put on the Blue Danube Waltz. That's the go-to-sleep music for him. Ever since he was a little guy and didn't want to go to sleep or couldn't sleep, I'd play that and waltz around with him, and he'd fall fast asleep. It's 9 minutes and 42 seconds long, and usually he's asleep by minute 6. But he was really fighting. He was fighting it, and he went to sleep about minute 7.5. But I hold him up and put my hand on his back, like you do when you're dancing with somebody. And I'd waltz around, and he knows exactly what configuration of steps I do to each part of the piece. And he expects the same thing. Very methodical kid. And he fell asleep. I put him down in a little cot, and I took a nap with him for about an hour. He got up and we played some more until Daddy got home. Daddy was off early today, and Daddy mowed the backyard with the electric lawnmower with the cord. And it was getting late, and I hadn't eaten yet or anything, but I thought, I want to help him. So I held the cord and got it out of his way and stuff so he didn't have to do it. And we plowed right through that backyard. Looks nice. Then Spencer came out, helped Daddy wash off the lawnmower, and I was next to him. Spencer pushed the lawnmower all the way back, put it away in the garage by himself. Oh, God. How many years is he going to be that wonderful and helpful? What age is he going to start not wanting to do stuff? Maybe he'll be a good kid all his life, and he'll want to be helpful his whole life. I don't know. Anyway, I came over here and put in the microwave. I put in the meal, and I sat down, and then the phone rang, and it was my friend John. Oh boy. I don't know what to tell him. He said things at home are deteriorated. The wife made a pot of spaghetti noodles, and in another pot she had some kind of sauce with a broken up hamburger in it. Like chunks. Like a hamburger patty that was broken up. So he says, what would you do? So he says, I put the noodles on my plate and asked if there was sauce, and she said, yeah, it's in the other pan. And he poured sauce on there, and he said it wasn't spaghetti sauce, it was barbecue sauce. He said, what would you do? I'd say, well, if all the noodles were for both of you, I would have rinsed off the noodles and inhaled the noodles all myself. I would have eaten them all myself. If she's too damn lazy, she said she was too lazy to go downstairs to get a jar of the sauce. Really? That's pretty friggin' lazy. Anyway, then he's at work, and he got a boss talking to him about going to break with certain people, and this, that, and the other thing. They're coming down hard on him. Well, he's retirement age. He wants to hold out until October. He'll get his full retirement. And things aren't going very well at work. They're both the sides of They run one side while they clean the other in this room of machinery. But both sides are not working right now. So he says it's just, and nobody knows what to do, and I don't know. Anyway, his boss is being real nitpicky tonight. Said he can't go to a break with anybody. He has to go by himself. Can't talk to anyone else. And he says, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what he's expecting me to say. Come out here? No. He says, well, I'll just come over and sit down in a chair and have some beer. And I'm thinking, no, you won't. I said, well, my place is really small. I said, it was a garage. A one-stall garage. He says, well, is there room for a chair? Do you have a chair? I said, I have a recliner and a swivel chair. Well, there's a chair. I could sit there. And I'm like, oh, God. Oh, well. Ay, ay, ay. So much for that. Now to the cheerful news. Baby Charlotte, the twin number 2, which was having a hard time, and she was in the intensive care, neonatal intensive care, which they call NICU. And she got to go home. And there was a picture of Scott and Marley and the twin girls, and dang, they look so tiny. It's been so long. I mean, Spencer was small, but he grew quickly. But these two girls, the one that was in NICU, looks so small. It's hard to believe Scott and Brian were ever that small. Scott was 8 pounds 2 ounces when he was born. Brian was 9 pounds 3 1/2. And these girls were like 7 pounds and almost 6 pounds. You know, that's good enough, you know. Usually if you're 5 pounds and under, they will keep you in an ICU unit to make sure you can breathe right and all that stuff. But Scott said he has off until September with this maternity leave for new babies. And he says, get on that damn airplane and come on up here. So this Friday is Ashley's birthday. This Sunday, we are going to have a dinner, and I'm planning it. It's going to be a fajita bar, like a taco bar, but with fajitas. Chicken and beef, and then all the other things that go on there. Guacamole and onion and tomato and a few things, little side things. And then for dessert, it's going to be this, like, gelatin strawberry cake. It's not Jell-O. It's fluffed up gelatin. So it's like eating air. It's very light. And I will film that when I make it, so you can see what I'm talking about. It's keto friendly. It's no gluten. And no sugar. The sweetness comes from real strawberries. So it ought to be interesting. I have to plan and buy the ingredients and plan it out. So Sunday, Brian and Ashley and Spencer are going to go up to the next little town up about 3 miles, and they're going to hang out and play with the playground for a little while. And then at like a time like 3 p.m. or something, they're going to come home, and I'll have the birthday stuff set up. So that'll be fun. So if I could go sometime before Spencer turns 2, which is September 3rd, if I can go sometime in between to Canada for 3 or 4 days to see the new babies, maybe build a pergola for Scott, whatever else I can help. It'll be before it snows up there, while the weather's still decent. Get to see everybody, get to help with the babies. So, I don't know. I found some cheap flights, but it's like 12-hour layovers. It arrives the next day, and weird things like that. And like, man. And then I'd have to drive 30 miles to Palm Springs Airport. Now I can have someone drop me off, it's kind of out of the way, well, maybe Aunt Betty could drop me off. Never thought of that. I never thought of asking her. Anyway, yeah, I could pay her back with a dinner or something. Anyway, it would leave from there and go up to Calgary, Alberta? No, Calgary. Is it Alberta? I don't know. Saskatchewan. Then from Calgary it goes to Saskatoon. But I really want to do that. This month's budget is shot, so I have to wait until the 2nd of, what is this month, July? August, till I have any money. So we shall see. We're running it close. And then the car insurance, I got car insurance, and then we'll have car, I don't know, yearly taxes and stuff coming up, and a bunch of stuff. And then the doctor wants me to get a whole new blood panel done, which is over $100. I don't want to do that. I had hiccups 5 times today. My kidney's still hurting. And what am I doing? Drinking Pepsi. Well, my neck hurts. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, wah. Oh, what else? Is there anything else that's important? Not really. Tomorrow's Tuesday. By the time y'all see this, it'll probably be Tuesday. And then Wednesday's Whoop Whoop Wednesday, where I will have a joke for you. I'm going to try to have a good one. I thought of an old one that I told like 10 or 12 years ago. Dare I say it again? I don't know. Some people have not heard it, but most of the people that watch my channel have heard it. So, I don't know. How many minutes have I talked? Way too long, I'm sure. Oh, jeepers. 15 something. Oh my gosh. Gotta go. Upward and onward.